Hello guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm gonna show you how to hold B on Mirage. I'm gonna give you some thoughts that I think you haven't really thought about before, and just in general how to play it aggressive, how to play it passive, how to play it with a teammate. So let's get started. First of all, the aggressive. In general, I think like obviously when you are going aggressive B, you should always have a teammate near you, and there's a lot of different ways to go aggressive. The first one, which is what I prefer, is to get a teammate to go here and listen, because then you know if he's gonna go close or not. And at the same time as he's listening, I like to do the deep molo, and the way you do it is just aim at, yeah, where this is going, you know, up, then you just aim before it goes up, and then you just run. So you get the deep molo here, and this one is very, very deep. So this means that if he's going up here, your teammate will hear it, and this way you can abort your plan. You can just throw nade in his face, and your short guy can throw nade and he will be very low. This is if he goes fast, but if he doesn't go fast, this is pretty easy, because then you know he's not there. You can just go up. I like to do the nade, so just make the nade land in the middle, so it gives this smoke. So you can either just strafe with the smoke and clear, or you can also just do the nade and then do a bounce flash after and go in. Both things is good. I think like the nade is really good if you feel like they are not a lot of times B, because then they don't really know that you're aggressive. Because this nade could have been thrown from car or anywhere. The same kind of goes, like let's say you did this with AVP. It's very good to do the nade. Then I like to jump over so the orb cannot sit in the small here, you know. If he's sitting in the small gap, then it's pretty rough if you're just peeking. So I like to do the nade and then jump, and then I have it. And this angle is pretty OP. Like now they can only do this flash, but you can hear it and also see it. So this way you can pretty easily dodge, go in, go out, then you can smoke yourself off and get away. So I think this is the most safe way to be aggressive, and in general it's very, very good, and especially with AVP. And with M4, obviously if it's in POX, then it's also very good, because a lot of times if people are playing B, they will be very aggressive. And if they are not aggressive, they will most likely not even be here. Obviously, sometimes they will be here, but a lot of times people are not really, you know, holding all the time and so on. So I think those two ways with M4 and AWP is really good, to be aggressive this way and have your teammate listen, instead of using, for example, two molos where you molo close and deep. Then you just use one and your teammate is listening. So this is the key. Cut. I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe and like the video, and also comment down below to help grow my YouTube channel. And you can also see all my social media right here. And I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm also posting a lot of stuff on Twitter, so go ahead and follow if you like. Thanks. Another way you can be aggressive is that you can get a teammate to smoke here. You just go in here, and then you aim in the middle of this and jump throw. The important part with this is that you can't throw the same deep molo, because if you throw this molo, it will go into the smoke. So if you get a teammate to do this smoke, you need to just aim here, 1, 2, and then just run. Then it will not go as deep, but you will still get this. And obviously he can only be in kitchen now, so either you can get a teammate to flash for you, you can flash yourself, or you can just clear it. There's even also a chance that you can just get your teammate to spam kitchen. But obviously this way, when you're smoking, you're showing that you're aggressive, and they will know. And they, like, if it's against a team, then they will maybe come back and retake and so on. So I prefer to be aggressive without really showing it. But you can also, if it's on a team, then you can get like let's say that one guy from A is smoking deep, then the short guy is dropping smoke up here. and then you have 2 extra smokes after the first smoke. You can even wait after the first smoke and just jiggle peek, and then you can smoke second smoke when the time is getting low. Then you have 1 more smoke. Then you can even stand here and wait, and then when the timer is very low, you can smoke again. So this is about like utility management and thinking about when to use your utility and so on. And I think this deep smoke is very good if you get 1 extra smoke and you have your own. Another thing you can do is this boost. So basically you can just get a teammate to be on the shadow. He just needs to stand directly on the shadow, and then you're just jumping up on him and going forward here. The only thing with this boost is that if the T's have good spawn, they will always be able to make it here and hold. So if it's against deagles, I would not recommend doing this boost, just because there's a chance that you just go into a deagle one shot. And even against like weapons, obviously it's not every time that AVP will come fast, so sometimes you can risk it, but in general I would say like it is a risk, because first T guy can always come and hold, and if he's just holding you, you will most likely die. But obviously if he's not holding you, it's very good, especially if the T player is doing like this, then you will always get in front of it and take him off guard. So yeah, it's both good and bad. When you are playing passive, it depends really. What you need to think about is if your teammate is here, or is he jumping short, or are they doing like some setup where he's not close to you. So in general, if no one is close to you, then I recommend that you do this molo, so that the T's can never be close here, because you don't have a teammate listening. So if you did the deep molo, he can always be close, and they can catch you off guard with a B pop. For example, if this guy just went close here, then you're jumping right now, and then the B pop is coming, and it's very, very hard to deal with. So in general, I recommend to do this molo close if you're completely alone. Then you know that they are not close, and at this point you can jump and you will see them much earlier, so you have more time to react and reposition yourself. In general, this jump, I have seen a lot of players, even pro players, they're still dying on the jump. I have played B for quite a while on the team, so the way I'm jumping is that when my crosshair hits this pillar, then I'm jumping. And then I'm jumping back the same way here. It's just a feeling how to jump back. But I never died to this, to like a 1 deagle or AK here or AVP. Like, they always miss me. And I don't think like this is always so good. At least my teammate have died here, and I thought like, why are you not jumping normally? But obviously this gives early info, so sometimes it can be good. But there is a risk with it, like if the AVP is holding the gap, you know, then you have a chance of dying. So I recommend this jump, and if you're playing passive here, then obviously now, because you moloed close, then you know that they're not close, you can react, so you will see them pretty early. And at this point, you always, when you're playing a position, an anchor position, you need to always think ahead. So even when you're jumping here, you need to already be thinking before they come. If they come now, what do I do? And there's a lot of options, right? In general, the most common option is that you smoke here, and then you can play around it, either behind it, stand in it. Some people even dodge and go up here and hold. Other times you can do the smoke and just go backside and hold yourself and play time. You can also even do the smoke and stay car right to bait. You can also do the smoke and go default and play around here. There's a lot of options, and it really depends on what you like to do and where you feel the most comfortable. And obviously then you also need to have success there, so try different things, and if something is not successful, just try and think, what could you have done better? Was it the aim fail? Was it how you moved around? was it your position that was just bad, or was it just unlucky, and so on. But in general, I think this default position is very, very OP. Like, you can hear them when they jump out window, and you can get a good angle on them, and at the same time, if they're going out balcony, you have a good... But what is important, like, if you don't have a teammate close, then you need to either kill 2 or 3, or you need to buy a lot of time for them to rotate in and still have a decent position. And if you don't do one of those, you have failed your round as a B player. So yeah, you just need to get very good at understanding when to take the fights, where to go, and how to play time, because a lot of times, right, if they go B, one guy will jump out window very fast and come, and this is the most important guy to kill if you are playing anywhere here. Because obviously if you kill this guy, then you can play time afterwards. They will have a bit of time, your teammates can come and flash over, they will maybe come short and help you as well, and then you have done your job. Because if you kill one and you buy a lot of time, then you can maybe also have secured the round. But if you kill one and don't buy time, then it's not a success for you. Yeah, sometimes it can be very good to just sit in the smoke, and at a good timing you can go through it and catch them off guard. Sometimes it can also be nice just to smoke here and stay behind it. Even though it's pretty obvious, it's still like a good situation for you. The only thing is that if you do this, then you kinda have to have your short player closer to you from the start, because else it gets pretty rough for the short player rotating in, because all focus can be on him. Like, they are not really afraid, they will get bench and they can just have these duels. So in general, like, rotation need to be quick to you if you're doing this, I think. Where if you're doing this, this will give your short player some more time and they will not get bench, and you have more time to, you give them, your teammates, a better chance of winning the round, because they cannot have bench and they can come in and get some decent duels, like not good duels but decent duels. But yeah, this was when you're passive kinda alone. If you're passive with a teammate here, obviously there comes a point where they can have mid. I will come to this a bit later, but in general, if you have a teammate around here, then obviously the most important thing you guys can do is try and save your utility. So in the start, you can obviously do the mollo deep and get your teammate to listen. But after this, then just try and save both your smokes, because then at some point, if you're just playing passive B, obviously it won't happen so much because people are very aggressive in pucks and so on. But on teams, you can, for example, play 3A, 2B and bail mid and not shoot the window. So if you're playing this setup, for example, then you can just save your smokes, and then a lot of times time will go very low to like 50, and then you have 2 smokes that you can use here, and then you can just have the B player go up, hold it, and then you have a second smoke. You can smoke at 30, and then the T's are completely screwed if they go now like anywhere B or short. And if your short player is, for example, holding here or here to take the first duel, then he can go in, and then the B player is killing 1B, getting next short. Like, it's very hard for the T's to deal with this. So thinking about your utility is in general very, very important. Another thing, if you're playing passive with your teammate, if they can come short, another setup you can do if you have AVP is that the AVP player is holding here. He's just holding short, and the M4 is under window. He's just holding here, and in general, what will be good about this is if they split B, the AVP will get the first kill, he will bait. This guy is holding window, and he will in general hear when they are coming out. So he, a lot of time, can just hold here. The B player will most likely come out delayed, and then he will get like 1 free frag short because the AVP baited. And then when one guy is trying to get out window to revenge or out balcony, then he still have a pretty good position. Plus, when the AVP is holding here, then he can go hold balcony after. And now they know, like, if they jump out window, it's not sure that the window guy is gonna focus on the window at this point. Like, even if the M4 was not, like, this is if the M4 was not spotted yet. Let's say he hold it here after the AVP shot. The B player is jumping out fast, then he will hear him jump out, and there's a good chance that this guy will not even look on the window because he have teammate shots. So this setup is really good, and it's all about understanding, like, with sound, where are they coming, what is the timing, and so on. But it's pretty easy to get good at. The last thing I want to say is that in general, in the middle of the round, when stuff has happened and so on, I think that in general, these positions where, like in the round where they need to begin and maybe like one guy will walk out B because they did a default, it's now 4v4, 3v3, some guy will think he have an opening B, those rounds, I think it's very good to stand in a position like default to just hold, backside to just hold, or even on self boost to just hold. And this is very OP positions, because when you are going as a team player, it's very annoying. Like, obviously this is not as good more because it's more clear to see, but sometimes they will also just walk out without even clearing it. The second thing is, when they're walking up, there's so many angles to clear, so it's pretty rough to like clear it good. And if they jump out window, you will hear it from any of these positions. And you can stand in a very off angle, right, where they need to like hold other places and clear other things. And this is just in general very easy kills. And obviously this position can also be very good sometimes, especially with AWP. I think it's very OP with